Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, it is so heartwarming to see you all here today, this evening. I really appreciate all of your support before and coming. Such an overwhelming response. I really didn't anticipate that much because of the rains. I know people, how wonderful people of Woodland are, because I have been living in this town since 1974. Some of you were not even born yet. Ready? So, because of the weather, I was not sure, but I prayed hard, and this is what happens. So, appreciate it. We are going to move the program forward now. And to do that, we have a much more talented person among us who will move the forward on the program. Her name is, she's right here, she's creative, and she is our communication director for American Muslim Voice. By profession, she is a neurologist, Dr. Firdos Sheikh.
Good evening, everybody. You know, it's an understatement if I said I feel like a family today. It is absolutely beautiful. I feel the aura, I feel the love, and I feel a sense that a new world is going to just begin. The purpose of this evening is essentially a need for the hour. It simply had to happen. I think we have been forced to accept what the politicians, what the media have been hurling at us. And most of the moderate people, like all of us in this hall today, know that it's wrong, know that we don't belong to it, but somehow we become a part of a fabric that simply is not ours. Having thought about this rather deeply, and essentially I'm simply tempted to shut off the news every time I turn it on, because all I see is gray, and I see death, and I see blood, and I see hate. And unfortunately, it is in the name of religion. And having looked at religion a little deeper, what I saw was simply beautiful. I think what we need to understand is that religions are an expression of how we choose to pray to God. That is all it is. It is our personal expression of how we want to pray to God. Today, what I hope to achieve, or American Muslim Voice hopes to achieve, is to get past that stage of how we connect to God and to create a spiritual confluence where we all have to rise above that state of our personal choice of how we pray. It is not who we pray for or why we pray for. I think the spiritual confluence essentially is lifting us out of our comfort zones of how we have learned to pray. I often tell my children, I was born a Muslim. I don't think I had a choice. And I grew up with a father who was a surgeon, very educated, but very worldly wise. He always said, respect all religions, but at least practice one. So I think I have learned from childhood that every religion has to be teaching the same thing. Otherwise, we wouldn't be thinking of God, or we wouldn't be praying to God. So in order to start a spiritual confluence, we decided to have this beautiful event. And what I realized was that religion was basically identified by colors. Now, how ironical that color has become a means of conflict. And yet, we are all represented by colors. And then one day I look up and I see this beautiful rainbow in the sky. And I think that God has a message. I think He's talking about a confluence of all colors into a rainbow where we are going to find our pot of gold, and that is the ultimate happiness. I want to start off this evening with what John Lennon said. And I'm a big fan of singers because I think they're emotional beasts. They're sensitive souls, and they really speak the heart. John Lennon said, "Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do, nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one." Now, if you think about it, you know, when I start any event or a program, I do research a lot. And what really pained me was the exact same emotions that we feel today about each other's religions, and the conflict and the hate and the confusion and the chaos existed hundreds and hundreds of years ago as well. So what are we doing wrong? We seem to have advanced in technology and in, science, and we have made so much progress, but somehow when it comes to the spiritual world, we all are lost. So I think it's really essential that we start a culture of peace, just a culture of peace, where we respect each other, we practice our own religions, we love everybody's religions, and there is only a meeting of the minds, and that has to be the spiritual confluence. So without much ado, I want to start today's evening by asking our very own Khalid Saeed. Everybody knows what a remarkable man he is. I think this is the reason we have this warmth and beautiful family here out in Woodland. He's also the National President of American Muslim Voice, an extremely nice, kind, talented gentleman. Inviting him to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Firdos, and thank you, everybody. I think we're going to have more programs just for what she just said about me. As she introduced me, I'm National President of American Muslim Voice Foundation. And we do work in the community in interfaith and intercommunity events. But today, for this program, if we see even in our homeland or we see around globe, all we see is so much trouble and chaos. The most vocal voices which we see they are advocating hate and conflict and divisiveness. And divisiveness and conflicts are not good for anybody, not any of us. Dr. Martin Luther King said that nothing in the world is more dangerous than a sincere ignorance. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than a sincere ignorance. And that is a lot of it going around these days. And Malcolm X, he said something very profound. He says, don't be in such a hurry to condemn a person who doesn't do something what you do and who doesn't think as you think. Because there was a time you did not know what you know now. So ladies and gentlemen, today American Muslim Voice Foundation is a national organization, and we are taking this lead with this program. This is our kickoff program, and I'm so grateful that you are here for this historical thing. We want to create a culture of peace and harmony throughout our homeland. Lots of people are trying to generate hate, but we want to have a visible culture of peace. So today it is hands around mosque. We would like to see hands around church, a synagogue, a temple, or a Sikh Gurdwara, where we gather all of common humanity just like that, and we visibly show the men and women on street that this is what we want, what those people want, not necessarily that we want. And we need to, the silent America has to stand up to hate and be more visible and vocal. So, it is really heartwarming to see all of you tonight. It really makes my day. We worked very hard at putting together this even room we didn't have before. And then when you came in, you saw the Muslim community, what kind of trouble we face every day. We had all set up, and when 50 people, wonderful people were walking in, we did pay the electric bill, but electricity was not here. So, but it was some Murphy's Law, I guess. Something could go wrong, and it did. But God calls us for forgiveness and reconciliation, and it is really a need of time. The bond of our common humanity is stronger than the divisiveness of our fears and prejudices. So God has given us the capacity to choice. We can choose to alleviate suffering. We can choose to work together for peace. We can make these choices, and we must. Thank you very much.
You can tell this program is already different. We generally start off with the Imam saying some prayer, but he's busy praying already, and we want to leave the people who are praying alone. So I'm sure he's praying for all of us. I now call upon Samina Sundas. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you already know her, but if you don't, she's the founding Executive Director of American Muslim Voice Foundation. There's really very little I would do justice in appreciating how wonderful she is. So without much ado, Samina Sundas.
Assalamu alaikum. May peace be upon all of you. Thank you. Remember, Pastor Niemöller, he said, first they came for the Jews. I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for the communist. I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the trade unionist. I did not speak out because I was not a trade unionist. Then they came for me, an American Muslim. And I am so fortunate to have all of you here. This is the blessing of hard work of American Muslim Voice. I don't know how many you know. A lot of you do know because you attend our other events, peace picnics and iftar dinners and everything else. That our mission is to build beautiful friendships, not just alliances, not just coalitions, because a friend sticks out the neck for a friend. If you're here today, I am honored to call you my friends. Is that okay? All right. We are created by one God. Doesn't matter who you call him, what you call him. We are one humanity. We have one planet. And we need to be like one body. Just like if one part of the body gets hurt, the whole body feels a fever because we get infected. This is the dream that I have, that one day, if I hurt, you will hurt. If you hurt, I will hurt. There should be no difference between a white, a black, a Muslim, a Jew, a Hindu, a Sikh, or a Latino. Right now, Muslims, Latinos, and African Americans are still facing the worst of everything. So let us send this message of love, just like you're sharing today with Muslims. I would love for all of us to share this love with our Latino brothers and sisters. Also, our African brothers and sisters. Because if we want safety, we must make sure everyone is safe. If we want peace, we must make sure everybody has peace. Whether it is in America, or in Afghanistan, or in Pakistan, we need to stop the arms. We need to invest in people, not in bombs. Once again, I want to thank our national president, Khalid Saeed, who just ran with this program, and it's because of his hard work that all of you are here, because his wife, his family, and he used to live here, and he just did beautiful relationships. You are all the poster child of American Muslim Voice Foundation. Thank you for being here, and I would love to thank the mosque for just hosting us here. Thank you so very much. I just want to thank one more little guy. I don't know if he's here or not. Aman. He came in the line when I was serving food, for some food, and I said, "You're not here for food, are you?" He looked at me confused. I said, "You're here for service. Pick up the water and go serve everybody." And he did with such smile that I want to just really shout out for him. Good job, Aman.